2 Megapops is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6 where a single tower within the entire Chimps game needs to get 2 million or more pops by the end of round 100. And today we're going to be doing this with the Sentry Expert, not Sentry Champion or Sentry Paragon, Sentry Expert. So we're going to be starting this adventure by, well, placing down the the Engineer Monkey here. So let's get this game cracking. And yes, we're doing this on Town Center because I want to kind of break the mold and delve into other maps aside the usual 3. Logs, Resort, Cubism, and sometimes for me, Candy Falls as well, or Carved. But very rarely. Oh no, I should have placed it on first just a little bit sooner there. But yeah, we need to go on strong for a little bit of this round and then switch to first. But I just did that a little bit too late when it comes to switching to the first matter here. So I think we're okay. Just go on strong just a little bit more. Then we go back to first. Because the travel speed of the balloons is a important factor, not just the amount of layers that they have left. So we're going to be placing down Geraldo. Obviously, he is the most OP support tower in Chimps where there is, but also sometimes in general as well, aside ultra late game Adora or sometimes Azili as well when it comes to dealing with late game bats. So that is a thing. That's a lot better. We're going to go to Sentry Gun, then Faster Production, is that what it's called? No, Faster Engineering, then Sprockets, then Sentry Expert. I had a bit of a brain fog there. I had an ogring moment from the Warhammer 40k universe. What? You probably questioned the thumbnail and wondered why there isn't an absolute zero situated on it. Well, we are not going to place down an absolute zero, and instead we're going to go maximum, well, attack speed on our Sentry Expert so we can get as many sentries out as possible. The idea of this is so that we can do as much damage as possible, because with Homeland defense it globally increases the attack speed and the pierce of every single tower on screen, but it also increases the production rate of these little sentries here, which means not only does it benefit the actual main tower itself, but also benefits the sub towers as well. But the only downside is that the pop count for like sub towers for the main tower itself, once that sub tower disappears, any projectiles that they have left on screen does not count towards the pop count of the main tower itself. So Engineers, Etienne, the Phoenix at times from the Wizard, they all suffer the same issue, and that sometimes pops are not accumulated to the tower itself. Can't see it from here, but there is a stack of old nails. Perhaps if Geraldo is at a certain angle, you can just about see a stack of old nails at the end of the track. And that's just in preparation for round 24, because we really want to go to Sentry Expert as soon as possible, so that we can actually start popping leads as soon as possible. Because we're going to really need that lead popping power so that we can actually get through round 28. Sentry Expert is here, which means we can now deploy these little cold sentries, we can deploy the energy sentries, the bomb sentries, and the crushing sentries. These are mainly for ceramics, these are for leads, these are, well, for freezing, and this one is, well, actually quite well paired with the cold sentry. Okay, round 28, the bomb sentries are coming into their play here when it comes to these leads, and alas, that has been successful. So what's going to be our next set of actions here? I want 2 002 villages for the time being. Okay, we really need an invisibility potion here because we can't afford a radar scanner at this given point in time. So another reason why Geraldo is an OP supporting tower slash hero for this scenario, and pretty much 99% of 2 Megapop scenarios. Look at all these different items that he can put onto a tower or lay down onto the track. One of these villages is going to go to inevitably a Homeland defense, and the other one's going to be primary mentoring for our glue gunners, in which we're going to place down here for a bit of a cheaper price to purchase all of the upgrades that I need, but also as well to decrease the ability cooldown time for the Glue Strike. We're not going to go to Glue Storm, we're just going to settle with Glue Strike for this scenario. Jungle Drums on you, and Radar Scanner for you. Not hugely necessary right now, but I definitely do want it. See, ×2 of this, so these two upgrades here just a tad bit cheaper.
What is that?
Every little helps, as a Tesco store would say. I say that a lot in videos, but it honestly is a case of every little helps when it comes to these monkey commerces. Primary training and player mentoring also increases the range of all primary towers in its vicinity. Primary training increases the travel speed of projectiles, the pierce of projectiles, and gives the tower more range. Whereas the mentoring part only gives additional range and a reduction in cooldown. But that addition in its cooldown for the Glue Strike is very handy. I also love the range on it as well. I love every aspect, okay? Also, cheaper upgrades as well for tier 1. From a cost to a no cost. We're going to go to Relentless Glue, and then we're going to be deploying down our soon-to-be Overclock Engineer up here, because like the Call to Arms and Homeland defense, if you apply the Overclock to the Sentry Expert, it increases the production rate of those sentries. It doesn't increase their attack rate or pierce, like with Call to Arms and Homeland defense would, but stacking both Overclock and Call to Arms / Homeland defense will mean we have a dramatic increase in the amount of sentries that we can deploy down on the map at any given time, which is wonderful. Round 50, Moab, not a problem, especially with the fact we've got Moab Glue and Relentless Glue up and running. Honestly, it was a time where Relentless Glue was not that good, but now, thanks to the fact that it can stun balloons, it's honestly brilliant. I find it just as important as Moab Glue, even though Moab Glue is the primary reason you would go bottom path glue for support. As long as you don't have corrosive glue, of course. If you go with corrosive glue, good luck getting that 2 Megapops, because they're going to stick around on the balloons for quite a while. Update 38.0 was a time to be alive in Balloons Tower Defense 6, because not only does it stun Moabs and DDTs, but it also stunned BFBs and ZOMGs as well. Like, I think it was only intended by Ninja Kiwi to target the smaller sized blimps, but with everything else it sort of just went to them as well inadvertently. And also I forgot to put a Jerry's Fire on our Sentry Expert since it's been doing so well. I didn't feel like I was struggling with power, and also this is a very ideal round because on round 84 these are going to be upgraded to the better Jerry's Fire. No rabbits included, of course. This building here is very ideal to put this engineer back here so that it does not attack any of these balloons. Like, this entire path is completely blocked. Like, obstacles have their big advantages when it comes to a 2 Megapops scenarios, because they can support the intended tower that you want to get a 2 Megapops with, but they are not taking away pops because they don't have the means of being able to attack. The only part is this little bit over here, but I'm not concerned about that whatsoever. Round 59 is here and coming to a close. Round 60, our first BFB, but we're applying our overclock constantly to our Sentry Expert to increase the production rate, but also the attack rate of the Engineer Monkey itself. It doesn't increase the attack rate of these because it's only a single applied thing. It doesn't apply to the sub towers as well. Like, that would be OP. Like, imagine that overclock applied to this would also apply to these as well. Like, that would be a great upgrade, Ninja Kiwi, but I would understand why that should not be a thing, because that's kind of OP. So what's our next agenda here? What do we want to do next? I do want a Glue Strike, not a Glue Storm, just the Strike. What I want to do is be able to increase the amount of damage that we can do once the glues are struck by our ability here, which is going to be very handy for rounds like 76. Oh, will we do this? Yes, we can. Yes, we can do this. We are building. We are building our Sentry Empire here. What's going to do with an overclock at this given point in time is accidentally buff one of these little sentries, and then that sentry disappears and the next round starts, because it's like, no, I can't get my ability back up and running. And I've got no means of increasing the size outside of like jungle drums. Jungle drums is honestly a very cheap, effective way of increasing your towers' effectiveness against balloons. And when I did my supporting tier list, I kind of underrated it really, because it's like, it's 1620 for a permanent, like what, 15-20% increase in attack speed. But I also think it also applies to producing things like sentries as well. So I kind of underrated it because of not only the effectiveness of it, but also the price in which you get that effectiveness from. At the moment, we've got all of our means that we need to slow down balloons. It's just a matter of getting call to arms and then Homeland defense. Yes, we're going straight for Homeland defense. We're not going to be concerned about, you know, getting some balloon sabbers on the field, because round 79 without call to arms is going to be a very, very big challenge for us. Simply because of the factor of all of the regrows. If we do not counter the regrows, then we would have to rely on Geraldo's blade traps to get a few pops. And not just a few pops, but over 10,000 pops. Which is not ideal to say the least, because the balloon population will just implode into uncontrollable numbers. And you do not want that when it comes to children in general. And also children balloons in general. Too many children in general is just a horrid time, to say the least. Round 75, we managed to glue strike all of the BFBs, which is very important when it comes to dealing enough damage to take them all down. And we shall soon have ourselves a call to arms, although some of these are making it very close to the end of the track here. And you got 9 pops. Oh my god, that's going to make all the difference, isn't it now? Hopefully it doesn't. Let's see, call to arms at some point at the end of this round. I'm clicking this like crazy, as you can tell by the blue hand at times. And there we go, got ourselves call to arms. Now then, round 76. Blue strike them once they are all out. Do that little bit of extra damage, call to arms, to increase our rate of fire for all of our towers down here. But it also increases the fire rate and pierce of our non-lethal glue gunners. It would also increase the fire rate of lethal glue gunners, but we don't have any of those on the field, which is why I said increase the fire rate of our non-lethal glue gunners, because we don't have any lethal glue gunners down on the field. I hope that makes sense, because I know someone's going to be like, wait, it wouldn't increase that? What kind of knowledge is that to pull out of your ass? And I used that too soon, and they may get past it. Oh gosh. Did I use that too late in the round? I might have done so. But our glue strike is ready for when these balloons are starting to become overwhelming. Yeah, we're going to use it now actually, just to slow them down a little bit. And we really need call to arms. Call to arms, we are in desperate need of you, but the only saving grace actually, which I think has saved our run, is the regrow blocker down here. That's also another reason why I put it down here, is so that we can counter around 79 regrows that make their way down here, so that they do not overwhelm us with their numbers, and the regrows are dealt with excellent. Without the call to arms, we wouldn't be able to have enough firepower, enough rate of fire to get through all of that jazz. Round 80 is here. And I've just noticed we have not had ourselves our Jerry's fire at any given point in time. But you know what? I'm going to wait until round 85 until we put another one of those down, because they'll be their upgraded form by that time. We don't need Jerry's fire usually, mainly for the early rounds, yes, when we had Jerry's fire available, but not right about this point in time, thank you very much. And yeah, this is one of the rare case scenarios where getting call to arms and Homeland defense is more beneficial than slowing down the balloons themselves, because you are also increasing the fire rate of the sentries that spawn out with the call to arms. This will make a big difference, because this also applies to these sentries over here, which means if we can increase their attack range, these will be able to reach over on this side of the track as well, which is very beneficial. Although not as handy as this, because it doesn't apply to these. If it was sprockets, it would. Like, sharpening stone would apply to these, but because of the fact that We don't have sprockets and we have a Sentry Expert. The sharpening stone, while it is displayed, doesn't actually apply to these because they're not darts, sharp, or blade based. Not a single issue so far, unlike our previous video on Town Center, which we tried to get a Sky Shredder and Superstorm 2-tower chimps, and honestly, that was an absolute pain to try and do. Round 59 and 63, for goodness sakes, I don't know how some people manage to do these sort of things. Like, it takes the most amount of elite sweat to try and get some of those rounds, honestly. Like, the amount of microing needed to be done is just stupidly insane, and I just don't have it in me to try and like successfully do that. I don't have the physical ability to try and do that. I don't have the arcane knowledge that some sweats have in the community. But then again, in some ways, I do define myself as a little bit of a sweat, but only in other scenarios, like let's say with the Ultra Boost Crossmaster 2TC. Like, that in and of itself is one of my proudest moments on the channel, discovering that particular combination, but let alone a combination, a original combo with the Ultra Boost Engineer, because that is such an expensive tower to get, and yet you can only deploy down 2 towers, and one of them being the Ultra Boost is such an impressive feat if you're able to beat all 95 rounds of chimps on. Remember, it starts on round 6 to 100, so therefore 95 rounds of balloon poppage. And we are so close to Homeland defense, I can almost taste it. I need to use quarter arms, but at the same time, I really don't want to use quarter arms because we're so close to Homeland defense, but we need to use quarter arms so that we can actually initially get the money in the first place to pop these ZMGs and put them down, put them in their place and all that jazz. I'm talking too much, but guess what? I don't care. Maybe I'll put quarter arms in the wrong timing. Yeah, I think I used it the wrong time, which is why some of them are making it so far along the track, and I've forgotten to put Garish Fire down on our beloved engineer, but guess what, I don't care. And we, as a collective, can now afford Homeland defense. Excellent. Yeah, this is going to get a few pops, but nothing to worry about whatsoever. Geraldo has 8, and the engineer monkey has 130. So 138 stolen. One of the best beats so far, but I feel like it will be close as time goes on, and the more that we rely on other towers here and there to get a few pops. Homeland defense up and running, stacked with overclock, means we'll be deploying sentries down like no man's business, and they don't stand a chance. Well, these ones don't stand a chance. Think about it. This is a Sentry Expert, not Sentry Champion, not Sentry Paragon, but a Sentry Expert. That's it. And that's just the damage in which we are dealing. So our next set of purchases will be some balloon sabos, because I need to be able to slow down these balloons to a certain extent without damaging them like a certain other tower will do. Great DDTs, how are we going to fare against these? Once we glue strike them, they shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah, with glue strike, they become much more susceptible to damage, which is very ideal. Oh great, BFBs, more things that we need to make our days that bit better. Okay, what are we missing here? Not that. We're okay on the, we won't be okay on the sharpening stone front, but that's probably the least important upgrade to get on our wonderful Sentry Expert. If we can get 2 sabos up for round 95, we'll be in a very good position here to try and stall the DDTs as much as we can, because not only are we going to rely on Homeland defense, but we need to find some ways of reducing the speed of these DDTs so that then they can actually be popped. Because attack power alone is not enough to get the 2 Megapops. You also need some ways of debuffing balloons, like slowing them down, making them more susceptible to damage, making sure that they can actually damage the balloons. I'm looking at you, MIB, on certain combinations like wizards against purples. They are making it quite far, but guess what? Our Homeland defense, once it kicks in, is absolutely brutal against everything. Like, probably statistically, the Energy Sentry does the most amount of damage out of all of these, which is why in these rounds, the energy sentries are more likely to spawn out than other ones would. Like, I think when it comes to ceramics, it's more likely to be the cold sentry and the crusher sentries. Oh, we've got 3 sabers up around 95. That should be brilliant, actually. Not just 2, but 3. Okay, round 95. Speaking of the devil, what have we got here? Yeah, we've got stuff going on here. Don't want the pickles though, because they will decrease the spawn rate of these sentries, which is not ideal whatsoever. Let's see. I think I might have used Homeland defense a bit too soon in the round. Let's see. Let's see. No, we dealt with all of these DDTs quite well, which is brilliant. Round 95 is sometimes the killer of certain runs. And no surprise, DDTs are ruthless. Almost said another word there. Let's see. A 4th Sabo down. Homeland defense activation. So if you're having a lovely day where you are, whatever it is that you are doing, I'm so thankful to everyone for their support. Recently, we've just hit 6,000 subscribers on the channel. And honestly, when I started the channel, I didn't expect to get this far. Like, I didn't expect to get 100 subscribers. I'm just really happy that people are very interested in the content that I create. Like, I'm definitely not the only channel out there that covers Balloons Tower Defense 6 that makes 2 Megapops scenarios or 2 Tower Chimps scenarios. I tend to have more luck when it comes to 2 Tower Chimps, because that requires both an insane amount of knowledge with each tower that you place down, but also as well the placements of the towers are even more incentivized in a 2 Tower Chimp scenario than they are in a 2 Megapop scenario, because you can cover your backs with a lot of different towers over here, and yes, your success rate will be lower, but it's not pivotal towards the run success as much as, let's say, a 2 Tower Chimp scenario. And speaking of 2 Tower Chimps, or in this case more accurately 1 Tower Chimps, it is possible to do a 1 Tower Chimp with the Ultra Boost. Sorry, the Ultra Juggernaut, not Ultra Boost, the Ultra Juggernaut. The Ultra Juggernaut, when you have an incredibly long track and the track itself is kind of confined where every single aspect of a track is walled off, so that then you place the Ultra Juggernaut in the center of the track, and therefore every other part of the track, most of it, is covered by walls. It means that the Ultra Juggernaut balls will always be able to rebound off of the walls and go back towards the balloons again, because as long as the projectile remains, it will do damage. Which is why the Ultra Juggernaut 1TC, I hope, will become a reality one day in an official scenario. Or perhaps it will only ever be in a custom map scenario. And a long-term project that I am working on at the moment is every single combination that can only be done on a custom map. As in, what combinations have not been done already, but it is possible to do theoretically if you have the right track length, or enough track length, and the right track layout in order to do them with. And I've gone through a lot of Quincy scenarios so far, and there are a lot of combinations which have not been done with Quincy that are possible, like Quincy Dark Knight, or Quincy with Spirit of the Forest. You need a sheer amount of track length to make full usage of Spirit of the Forest. So, let's go back to this scenario. We need ourselves our Spike Storm ready for round 100. We're also going to put down some totems here and here. We're going to put this on you, that on you, thank you very much. Gonna put, oh gosh, we are running, oh my god, don't go near the end of the track, please. And I think, no, oh my god, I pressed the wrong thing by accident. That's what happens when you talk too much and you lose concentration of what's happening on the track. You forget what's going on, and some balloons are too close to the end of the track. So, word of advice, when doing this sort of thing, don't talk and just focus on what's in front of you. They are making it very far to the end of the track. Our Homeland defense is kind of not in a good way at the moment. Our timing of Homeland defense, yeah, And why does it do that? When you exit the scenario, some abilities are disabled when they should be active. That's so unfair, Ninja Kiwi.
Yes.
There we go. I think that should do it. Homeland defense has come back just in time when we really need it, and that is round excellent. Geraldo is now at level 20, which means we can put down 2 more of these creepy idols for our wonderful benefits here. So there we go, they're both there. And of course I keep forgetting to use abilities because I'm trying to put down Geraldo items. This might require a restart, which I'm thinking that it is requiring a restart. Don't you just love it when this sort of thing happens? Will this be it? Will they make it to the end? I hope not, because I intended for my spike battery to not be able to target less. Okay, we're going to need to put down Homeland defense. Come on, pop them. Some of these are going to be sacrificed a little bit, but not too much. And our spike battery is ready for round 100. Excellent. Blue strike, then spike battery. And that is that. But that's not the only thing which we're going to do. We're going to be deploying this down. Overclocking this again. Homeland defense again. Blue strike that again. And we are in business. So we're needing another Homeland defense. That depends on how well we do here. So let's do another rejuve potion. Another Homeland defense. Increase that with overclock again. But I'm actually starting to think that we might have needed to use another spike storm ability there. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to use another one. Or time it better so that there's more spikes where the bad is. Yeah, that was much better. That's got 16,000 pops, so that should be what we need in order to clear through this bad now. Yeah, it's got many more layers now, and more candy exposed. Let's see, I'm going to slow you down. Not going to use another. Actually, we don't have any more potions left to use from Geraldo. Oh, no, no, no! Why did I press that button for? I honestly hate it when I misclick something and then that happens. That was so stupid of me to do. Okay, let's do that now and hopefully we'll have better... What the... Excuse me? Are we going to talk about that? Because last time that was like 14, 15,000, then that was 22,000. Excuse me, but what was that? Oh no, we got this now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off. I'm going to use that again at some point, but not right now. Slow those down. And rejuve, another Homeland defense at some point. Don't even need it really. Hold on, come on. Another Homeland defense just to show that it's active. There we go. And we've done it, actually. Yes, Bob the Builder has managed to do 2,011,000 pops. It's like, what the hell was that? Like, what did we do different there with the Spike Storm there that made it pop even more? It was because of the fact that it was around this area when I activated the abilities, so it kind of got this area here, this area over here, and up here as well. Like, but we've got a bigger field of spike range for the spikes to go, well, potentially go out and then pop them. Like, that could be a thing. I was just so surprised because in none of my test runs, the bad actually popped that early. But that goes to show that at the price of a Spike Storm, like under 10,000, it really is one of the... Actually, it's probably a bit more than 10,000 when it comes to the overall cost, but it is one of the best bad counters that there is for a Megapops, 2 Megapops runs, sorry. So yeah, that is the Sentry Champion's little sibling, Sentry Expert, at 2,011,000. Is it the best run is it the best run of all time? Not really. I suppose there are other runs which probably were able to use a little bit more, well, have the bad kind of be delayed when it comes to its pops so that the Spike Storm doesn't get as many pops. So yeah, 189. Geraldo got 2,100 for some odd reason. Like, what else did you do in order to get pops? I could deploy any items down that increase the amount of pops you get. I could deploy down the little spikes over here, but I don't understand. What did I do? What did I do wrong there? How did you get 2,000? Like, was it round 98 potentially? But how would you do that much damage? It probably is because of the glue strike. That's probably what it is. But regardless, thank you all so much for watching, everybody. This has been a 2 Megapops run on Sentry Expert. I would like to be able to try and do a 2 Megapop scenario on every single beginner's map that there is in the game. Like one on End of a Run, one on Hedge, one on Alpine Run, one on Park Path. Any maps I've not yet done a video on when it comes to 2 Megapops. Like, obviously, I haven't done one on Resort yet. That's going to be really hard. I'm just kidding, by the way. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Please be sure to use my creator support code. Recently, I've been having a few uses of it, and I am truly thankful to every single person that have used my creator support code. But the most important thing when purchasing anything from the store is to use a content creator's support code. Doesn't matter if it's mine, but I'm thoroughly appreciative of it, but I'm also very appreciative that you use someone else's creator support code, because it means that you're supporting someone rather than no one. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everybody.